The reigning MotoGP World Champion, Jorge Martin, is facing a potential ban from the 2026 championship by Dorna's big boss, Carmelo Ezpeleta. What's going on? A fiery contract dispute with Aprilia, whispers of a move to Honda, and a legal battle that could reshape the future of MotoGP. Stick around as we dive deep into this saga, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay in the loop for all things MotoGP. Jorge Martin, the 2024 MotoGP World Champion, is one of the grid's brightest talents. With his aggressive riding style and remarkable consistency, he conquered the motorcycling world to claim the title. But 2025 has been a nightmare for him. Recurring injuries have limited him to just one race out of the season's first 10, from a crash during Sepang testing to an injury while training on a motard bike in Thailand, and another incident in Qatar. Martin seems cursed by bad luck. Behind his injury-plagued season, a contract clause has taken center stage. When Martin signed with Aprilia in the summer of 2024, both parties agreed on a performance clause. If Martin wasn't leading the championship after 6 Grand Prix races, he could terminate his contract for 2026. With no points due to his injuries, Martin met the clause's conditions. Through his manager, Albert Valera, he announced his intent to leave Aprilia and explore new opportunities, particularly with Honda. But Aprilia isn't backing down. The Nola-based manufacturer insists the clause is invalid since Martin barely raced this season. They argue his 2-year contract remains binding until the end of 2026. This is where the MotoGP world gets rocked by conflict. Amid the tension, MotoGP's top boss, Carmelo Ezpeleta, Dorna's CEO, dropped a bombshell that shook the paddock. Ezpeleta, alongside the MSMA, Constructors Association, and RTA, Teams Association, declared that no rider who isn't free will be allowed to register for 2026. In other words, Martin can't race for another team unless his contract dispute with Aprilia is resolved, either through mutual agreement or a court ruling. Aprilia says they have a contract with Martin, while his agent says he's free. For us to accept his registration, both sides must agree, or a judge will decide, Ezpeleta stated firmly. His words landed like a thunderbolt in Assen, where the drama reached its peak. Known for maintaining championship stability, Ezpeleta is clearly unhappy with the potential chaos Martin's decision could unleash. With Dorna's recent acquisition by Liberty Media, Ezpeleta seems determined to keep MotoGP looking solid for sponsors and fans. Martin's potential exit could trigger a domino effect in the 2026 rider market, disrupting the balance between teams and manufacturers. Aprilia, led by CEO Massimo Rivola, isn't budging. With his Formula One background from Toro Rosso and Ferrari, Rivola is adamant that Martin's contract is valid. Our position hasn't changed. This rider has a 2-year contract and isn't free. He can't just go wherever he wants, Rivola said sharply. He outlined 2 paths to resolve the conflict: keep Martin as Aprilia's lead rider, or reach a mutual agreement if he insists on leaving. But if no deal is struck, Rivola isn't afraid to take the matter to court. We'll do whatever it takes to protect the company, he added. Aprilia has strong reasons to fight for Martin. After pouring resources into building a team around the world champion, losing him could derail their long-term plans, especially since Aprilia's 2025 season has been solid, with Marco Bezzecchi scoring a podium in Assen. Letting Martin go would force them to scramble for a top-tier replacement in a cutthroat rider market. Not an easy task. Meanwhile, Honda has emerged as Martin's potential 2026 destination. Struggling to return to their former glory after tough seasons, Honda is eager to sign a talent like Martin. HRC team manager Alberto Puig confirmed they've only spoken directly with the rider, not other teams. The rider says he's free, Puig said, echoing Valera's claim that Martin isn't bound to Aprilia. But Puig is cautious, stating Honda won't move forward until Martin's contract status is crystal clear. We need proof, he said, wary of getting entangled in a legal mess. Rivola fired back, reminding everyone of Ezpeleta's stance. You can't sign with one brand if you're still tied to another. Rumours of Honda's interest in Martin aren't new. Honda sees Martin as the key to rebuilding their dominance. But with Ezpeleta's warning and Aprilia's hardline stance, Martin's path to Honda looks far from smooth. This drama isn't just about Jorge Martin and Aprilia, it's about the future of MotoGP itself. If Martin escapes his contract without consequences, it could set a dangerous precedent. Other riders might try similar moves, shaking the stability of contracts across the championship. Ezpeleta seems determined to enforce that contracts must be honoured, or at least resolved properly. For Martin, the stakes are sky high. If he loses in court, he could be stuck with Aprilia until 2026, or worse, barred from racing entirely if Dorna rejects his registration. That would be a devastating blow for a world champion at the peak of his career. But if Martin wins, he could pave the way to Honda and reshape the 2026 ride market. Aprilia has a lot to lose too. Losing Martin could weaken their championship standing, especially after building a team poised to compete at the top. Names like Pedro Acosta, Enea Bastianini, Johann Zarco, or Jack Miller have been floated as potential replacements. But replacing a world champion is no small feat. The Jorge Martin versus Aprilia saga is more than a rider dispute. It's about how MotoGP operates, how contracts are crafted, and how power in the paddock can shape a champion's fate. If you're a MotoGP fan, don't miss the latest updates on this drama. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay locked into the hottest news in motorcycling. Drop a comment below. Do you think Jorge Martin will make it to Honda, or will Aprilia win in court?
Welcome to GP Talks. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.